Hello, everyone. Welcome to our October webinar. My name is Amanda, and I'm super excited that all of you have joined today. This session and webinar is, I'm going to say, I guess, back by popular demand. I gave this webinar live about a month ago in Las Vegas at the Experience Convention, and it was so well received, and I had so many people ask that I was like, well, we'll just make it part of our October webinar. So we're excited that all of you are here today. I want to start with just a couple of quick housekeeping notes for everyone. As you guys are aware, if you've heard me speak before, I love interactive sessions. So while this is a little bit different than live, if today you have any questions or comments throughout the webinar, we would 100% invite you to engage with us via chat. I am honored that I've got my assistant, Hazel, joining me today, and she's going to be moderating the chat, helping to kind of streamline any questions that come in so that we can make sure at the end when we've got some time to do some questions that, we've got those lined up. I'll try and answer some questions along the way, as it fits. Otherwise, please note, I will get to your questions at the end. And then one final housekeeping note, if you're joining today, we would be honored if you would just share your name and where you're joining from in the comments, just to help us know who we've got here. Again, I love engagement. I love people interacting. So would appreciate it if you would be willing to share that information in the comments. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Actually, pause. I have one other thing that I wanted to note. I'm going to pop up on the screen. There'll be a QR code up in the corner, and Hazel will drop it in the comments at some point as well. But at this point, if you are interested at all in today's session and having a little bit further conversation about your marketing, about slow seasons, understanding maybe how things are currently performing, I am offering just free consultations. We'll do some analysis of, how things are currently going, how you're currently performing, and just a quick free consultation. The information is yours, so you're welcome to take it after that. So there is a QR code that will kind of take up and down throughout today's session so that you can go ahead and just click there to schedule something. Thanks again for everyone joining. Let's go ahead and dive in. I'm super excited to chat with you guys today. So let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen. All right. So again, for those of you that I have not met, my name is Amanda. I am the CEO here at Virtual Vision. We are located in Wausau, Wisconsin, and we serve clients across the nation, analyzing marketing, the goals that you have, and seeing what can be done to really help strategically optimize your online presence. We have been in business for almost 28 years now, and are really, really honored to partner with all of the businesses that we do. And today we are talking about marketing when the phone is not ringing. If you have ever wondered what to do when the phones go quiet, you are in the right place. So I start with this. Raise your proverbial hand. If you have ever had that pit in your stomach feeling when the phone stops ringing, your leads start to dry up. The off season feels a little bit like a ghost town. I want to start by saying here, you guys, you are not alone in this. As someone running a business, this is normal. And we even go through this. Every business has their slow seasons. No one is immune. The problem with this is that slow seasons tend sometimes to have us left making a little bit more irrational decisions. We feel that angst, we feel the pit in our stomach of a slow season, and we start to make decisions that or questions of what should I be doing? Oftentimes, marketing is one of the first things in slow seasons that people say, I have to stop. It's a slow season. I need to pull back. I need to not spend as much. And the really baseline foundation of today's conversation is that a slow season doesn't mean you need to stop. It means you need to prepare. It means you need to be strategic. The companies that market smart when things are slow are the ones who then continue or are dominating when things pick back up. And that's the biggest mindset shift I want you to take away from today's session. If you hear nothing else, hear this. A slow season doesn't mean you stop. It means you prepare. The businesses that come out ahead are the ones that use the quiet to build their momentum. So I want to start today with understanding why slow seasons hurt more than you think that they do. Now, we all know slow seasons hurt, they can feel like they hurt our bottom line. It leaves us, as I said before, feeling a little bit of angst. But the reality is, slow seasons are not just seasons where you get fewer calls. When we make those decisions to pull back in slow seasons or shut things down, they hurt more than you think they do slowing down because you lose digital momentum. Google notices when you go dark. Customers assume you've closed. And your competitors, they are still the ones that are out there getting visible, getting in front of people. It's so important to understand the cost of what happens when you go quiet. The first thing that I want to note is that we are going to talk a lot today about the standpoint of your digital presence. So Google notices when you start to slow down and you lose that momentum, not just the leads. People can assume if you kind of stop being active that you're out of business. Think of a time, I know that this has been the case for me. Think of a time when you go on to someone's webpage. Maybe they've got a recent news section, or maybe it's their social media, and their last post was like 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, maybe even 3 months ago. My first reaction to that is, well, they obviously didn't have anything important to share. So either they're not doing anything, or maybe they're not even in business anymore. If you do not keep up, people are going to make assumptions. And the reality, like I mentioned, is that if your competition isn't pausing those things, they are going to catch up or pass you up by continuing that. When you turn off your marketing, this is the cost. This is the risk in slow seasons. So there was, this isn't just theory, there was a study that was done by Ehrenberg Base, and it studied across multiple industries. And it found that when brands stopped advertising for 1 year or more, their average sales dropped by 16% after 1 year and 25% after 2 years. The sales and your leads are going to drop when you go dark. Even if your service doesn't change, even if your quality doesn't change, visibility is everything. And think about that from a standpoint of a smaller business, whether you're a small local business, whether you are a restoration company. If you're a small business, a 16% hit is hefty. and 25% after 2 years. Take a quarter of your business just for going dark and say, it's gone. That is a big cost. And this is a massive thing. Essentially, stopping your marketing going dark is like being on an airplane and cutting your engine mid-flight. What's going to happen? You're going to drop. It's a natural cause and effect. Another study looked at the start-stop marketing and looked at the fact that it really undermined performance. So this was from a company called Data Slayer. They analyze the data behind marketing campaigns. And they looked at, like I said, the start-stop model. A simulated model looked at two different strategies. The first was someone who said, I'm going to raise my marketing, I'm going to lower my marketing in slow seasons. I'm going to raise it again in high seasons and slow it down in slow seasons, pausing during slow periods. And the other method that they looked at was consistent, smooth spending across seasons, right? The results were that the consistent strategy generated 30% more annual revenue than those who started and stopped. Finally, it gets a little bit more powerful than this. So McKinsey did a study of marketing budgets during uncertain times, found that companies that continuously invested in their marketing, even in downturns, performed better, not over the next month, not over the next year, not over the next couple of years. Those that invested consistently performed better over the next decade. 10 years of time. They captured the share of the market while everyone else paused. And this was looking at so many companies. They even found that in addition to that annual or that decade worth of growth, they had more shareholder returns compared to those of their peers who slashed budgets during slow seasons. So I will get off my soapbox here of why it's so important to understand that when we face slow seasons, we still need to keep things going. But I want to say just a couple final things. Silence is never rewarded. Think of that one friend. We all have them. Think of that one friend that you text consistently, and maybe they respond back, but at some point they stop responding and your messages just go, I don't know, left. They're unresponded to, right? You get no response. Eventually you start to ask the question, did I do something wrong? Why isn't this person responding to me? Do they even care enough about my relationship to interact with me? The same thing is true for marketing and your branding and existence here when you're in slow seasons with your customers. Silence is not rewarded. A lot of marketing agencies, Hook Agency, another company that reports on agencies and marketings, looked at pausing marketing during slow seasons and found that pausing marketing, even temporarily, eventually leads to eroded customer trust. You're letting your competitors fill that visibility gap, and your brand fades from memory. It's important to note that if you are not in front of people, they are eventually going to put someone else at that place. Silence creates doubt. It lowers trust, and it gives your competitors a place to step up and take your spot. Even a little visibility in slow seasons can go a truly long way. Pausing your marketing doesn't mean pausing momentum. It means eroding visibility, trust, and ranking, and it gives people room to come in and outrank you. I want to end this this kind of soapbox with just this quick thought here. Turning off your marketing in a slower season is like turning off your headlights while you're driving in a foggy night. You are still moving, but now you're just going blind. And that's scary. Imagine what that would look like. So, there is a place for marketing when you are in a slower season. Turning off your marketing is the bad thing. Cutting back isn't just about saving cash, it's about recognizing what you lose when you stop. Leads will dry up, your brand will fade from minds. Come the busy season, you are starting from scratch again, rather than slow and steady, winning the race and remaining consistent. All right. So, stepping off my soapbox here, I think I've made it clear. It's so important to not make an irrational decision in a slow season to say, I'm just going to cut it all back. We want to be smart and strategic in that. We don't want to go dark. We want to go smart. So, in this next session, we're going to talk a little bit about how to adjust and not disappear in slower seasons, how to come out stronger when the season picks back up, when the phone starts ringing again. Turning everything off hurts you. But that doesn't mean in a slow season that you have to keep spending the same. There are ways to stay visible without necessarily burning your marketing budget. The goal here is presence, not pressure. Let me say that again. The goal here is presence, not pressure. You want to be seen. You want to stay relevant. You want to keep your data warm so that when the market picks back up, you are ready to continue rolling, not start running again. So we're going to look at 5 different areas here that we need to visit when we're looking at re-looking at our strategies rather than slashing them. And these 5 areas are paid strategies, content, SEO, goals, and preparation. Let's start with the top of that list. So when we talk about slower seasons of marketing, we're going to look at paid ads. People are going to look at what am I spending money on and how can I be strategic about that? And here's the reality. You don't have to shut down your marketing campaigns, your paid campaigns. Don't shut them down. Re-strategize, adjust them. Looking at your paid ads, you want to zoom in on hyper local targeting rather than running really broad campaigns. You also want to look at your warm audiences. So, retargeting is a type of paid advertising that looks at people that are already engaging with you and targeting them on other platforms. We also want to look at lowering your budget, but still staying active, keeping something going. There is a thing when you're talking about paid ads that when you start and stop them called learning mode. When you just start into paid ads, your ads have to go through what's called learning mode. It is a very low level of ads where Google isn't showing your ads really to very many people because it's learning how people will respond to your ads. Anytime you stop your ads and restart them, you have to go back through learning mode, which lasts a couple weeks. So let's say for my restoration companies on this call, let's say you decide to start ads because of a weather event that rolls through your area. If you start them the day the weather event starts, Google has to learn your ads for about a couple weeks. By the time it's learned your ads and wants to show them to the right people, the weather event is done. Do you see the danger in that? So you want to lower your budget on these type of advertisements, but stay active so that when it's time to ramp it up, you don't have to do that again. You're not letting your account grow cold. And then look through your ads with lower cost per click goals. If you are paying for ads. Don't kill them, but again, hyper focus. Look at your cost per click. Instead of running high cost, low intent ads, run high intent ads. Again, let me repeat this. We want to go hyper local and keep things coming. We want to look into staying active in our ads. We want to retarget. Keep active with the people that are already engaging with your brand. And then finally, we want to keep things running so that local targeting can be more affordable and relevant during your slower seasons. I think my mouse just died, so give me a second because I can't flip through oh, there we go. Okay, here we go. All right. So the next piece that we are going to look at here is our content. We want to keep it light. We want to keep it consistent. So content is a really big piece for Google. Just a second. I'm going to plug in my mouse here. All right. There we go. Thanks for hanging with me. Gotta love technology, but really only when it works, huh? Okay. So I think it's important to note that content is a really big piece of your marketing when you are in a slower season. Content is what keeps you alive to Google and your audience. But here's where a common misconception can come into place. You don't need big blog posts or high-end videos to be active. Bite-sized content works great. Bite-sized content is what people want right now. Share tips, repurpose your old content, highlight your team. Google rewards activity over perfection. No one in this day of age is looking to go online and find the perfect company. 9 times out of 10, they actually want to see the people behind the business to know that they are real people, which means it doesn't have to be perfect. What it does need to be is there. Even just one blog post per month or one update per month can help. As I mentioned, everybody's got content of some sort. So repurpose that content. Go in and save the time, but show consistency and share something. Introduce your team. Highlight community involvement. These are all really easy content wins that show that you are still engaged, you are still active, even in a slow season. Stopping your blogs and your posts, especially in a slow season, is like hiding from your customers. Google nor your customers, neither is going to forget you completely in that season, but silence isn't rewarded, like I said earlier. Next one. SEO, using local SEO as your secret weapon. You guys, this is the lowest hanging possible fruit that you can get in a slow season. Here's some tactics and why this works. Update your Google business profile, your verified Google business listing weekly if you can. Respond to your reviews. Let me go back quick. Sorry, I jumped ahead. Update your Google business profile. Why is this important? It shows Google that you are active. Your users will also see that you are active on there. And it helps you be found when they're looking for your services. Local SEO is responding to every review. Why? Because it builds trust and it helps ranking. It helps people know that you care and will engage with your customers who are saying things about you. Check all listings for NAP accuracy. This is a little bit of jargon, but it stands for name, address, phone number. There are about 70 online verified business directories in the United States that segregates your data from other places and pulls it in. You want those to be accurate so that no matter where someone finds you, they can access you. But it also prevents ranking drops because your information is consistent. Again, Google's very smart. They know when things aren't consistent. And then simple, add new photos to your business listing. Why? This humanizes your brand. Authenticity is what matters. People want that. They want to know that you are human and that they can trust you. Used to be that paid ads went all the way with Google. Do you know what Google says now is the new currency? Trust. People just want to know that they can trust you. These local SEO tactics signal to Google and your customers we're alive, we're local, and we're trusted. And that is important. I always say, probably every session talk that I give, there are 3 things that Google cares about most. Are you who you say you are? Do you do what you say you do? And number 3, do people actually like you? And that is what this local SEO answers and keeps you moving forward. I think the other thing that I want to note in this is that it's so important in slow seasons to look at maintaining your foundation by understanding your goals. Asking yourself, what's the minimum visibility that I can keep running that will still build trust, whether it's through ads or just remaining consistent. You have to be realistic in your goals without going silent. So here's some common statements that I hear in slow seasons from customers and what we should hear instead. Ask or say these things instead. Instead of saying, I need to cut everything, it's a slow season. Instead, we need to say, what can I maintain that is cost effective without completely going dark? Instead of saying marketing isn't working because we're in a slow season, we should be asking the question, what should be working right now? Again, absolutely no business is immune to a slow season. We all have them. It doesn't mean your marketing isn't working, but it's important to note that these things are so key. And then instead of saying, I'll just wait it out, I'm just going to back up and wait out in this slow season, instead say, I'm going to use this time to prep for ramp up when it picks back up. Your off-season goal needs to be maintaining and setting yourself up for success when the growth comes. Set your expectations clearly so that you can make better informed decisions and plan ahead. Bottom line here, you guys, stay ready in slow seasons so that you do not have to get ready. Build your remarketing audiences. Engage with the people who are already engaging with you. Keep your ad platforms warm. Algorithms with Google and search engines favor momentum and consistency. Prep creative assets. Use this season to prepare for the next one while you have time, whether that's ads, whether that's emails, whether that's promos. Utilize the quiet times well. And then clean up some internal processes. In all of this, utilize this as an opportune time to say, what can we fix so that we are that much better when the busy season comes? Hear me say again, the best companies use slow seasons to clean up, to prep, and to warm things up so that when the season hits, they're not starting cold. They're already rolling and ready to move forward with efficiencies. The companies that miss these moments are scrambling when things pick back up. You're trying to sprint. The other companies are sprinting out of the gates and you're still lacing up your sneakers. It's so important to stay engaged. I want to share this as like the big picture of a continuous marketing strategy and an optimization cycle here. So we'll just start at the top. The first is maintaining consistency in your marketing strategy. And inconsistency, that means also continually being strategic and adjusting your investment and what you're doing, re-strategizing in your marketing to truly invest well. And then you go back after you re-strategize and you analyze those things with tools to make better informed decisions, to know what's working, what's not in slow seasons and in good. You figure that out, you make the adjustments, you maintain consistency, and then you go back and adjust, and then you figure out. It's a constant cycle so that you always know what's working when it's time to ramp up. I see real quick, I'll pause. Cheryl, thank you so much for your question of getting a copy of this presentation. I am happy to make these slides available. This presentation will be recorded or is recorded, and you will get a copy of the recording sent to you as well. I'm happy to include information with my slides. It actually leads me into kind of this final piece that I want to bring here, and that is the recap of today's webinar is that you don't want to shut down in slow seasons. Adjust smart, build your brand, and keep showing up. It is okay in slow seasons to say, I do need to pull back a little bit and to be strategic and smart about those decisions. It is not okay to react big and say, cut it all. I can't do anything anymore. You have to stay consistent. The results don't happen overnight. They compound over time. Marketing isn't a one-time in the moment thing. It's a compound interest of business growth. The companies that market smart when things are slow are the ones who dominate when it picks back up. You should always be strategic in that without completely cutting it. I'll say that one final time. The companies that market smart when things are slow are the ones who dominate when the season picks back up. All right, let's bring it all together here. What do smart businesses do in slow seasons that are different? The ones who win long term, they adjust, they do not pause. They build their brand, not just chasing clicks. They invest small, but they do it consistently. And they're the first in line for these reasons when the demand returns. They don't disappear. They stay visible, they stay consistent. And when the phones start ringing again, that company is top of mind. As we close things out, I want to just invite quickly here for you. This is a screenshot of a free marketing one-pager that I want to offer those who attended today. That is a DIY marketing moves for slow season success. If you don't have a marketing company, that's okay. Obviously, there are things that a marketing company can help you do that you can't do yourself. But sometimes we have to do it ourselves, and that's okay. So this is a one-pager of things that are really easy that you can do yourself during slow seasons to help you continue that momentum and success. So just scan this QR code and it'll take you to a little sign-up form, and this PDF will be sent to you. I also want to mention as well that Hazel has dropped my scheduler link in the chat a few times as well. If you are interested in just chatting, if you have further questions, if you want to look at some reports of how your marketing is doing, and we can make some suggestions of areas of opportunity, whether you use us for it or not, that is okay. I'm happy to walk you through those things. So you can simply scan or you can simply use the link, and then I will pop the other QR code back up here. So now you've got double QR codes on your screen. Any questions from anyone in the audience? Now would be a great time to pop those in the chat. I'd be happy to answer any questions. I'll give you guys a few seconds here just to scan those QR codes, type out any questions, comments, anything you've got in the chat. I want to thank you guys again for joining us today. This is kind of the official end to the actual presentation. As I mentioned, this was recorded. You will receive that in an email by the end of this week as we get things together. If you attended today and don't scan this QR code, we'll also send out this document for you. Otherwise, we will just hang tight to answer any questions that anyone might have based on the things that we talked about today. But again, thank you guys so much, so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Cheryl. I appreciate it. You have a great day as well. Thank you, Chris.